Hello, today's lesson is negative indices. Um, we know that a positive index like 2 to the power of 3 means 2 has to be multiplied by itself 3 times. Okay, so that is for a positive index, so that tells me that's my base. This is the number I'm going to times, and that's my power or index. It tells me how many times I have to times this by itself. But what does a negative index mean? So how can I times 2 by itself? Say minus 3 times. Today we are looking at the way of finding this out. To do that, we got to remember the division of powers or indices. If we had, say, 2 to the power of 5 divided by 2 to the power of 3, what we did, we used the same base, which is 2, and we subtracted the powers. So 5 take away 3 is 2. Alright, that was my answer in index form, or if I wanted to evaluate it, it is 2 squared, means 2 times 2, which is 4. Okay, we are going to use this definition to come out with a meaning for negative indices. Suppose I have 2 to the power of minus 3. I can get 2 to the power of minus 3 by doing this. 2 to the power of 5 divided by 2 to the power of 8. If I have that, and I want to use the same rule that we just talked about, so we said that we write the bases and we subtract the second power from the first power. So it has to be 5 minus 8. And 5 minus 8 is minus 3. Okay, so 2 to the minus 3 is the same as the quotient of 2 to the 5 when divided by 2 to the 8. But also we know that we can write any division as a fraction. So 2 to the 5 divided by 2 to the 8 can be written as a fraction, where 2 to the power of 5 is at the top and 2 to the power of 8 is at the bottom. That's one thing we know. The other thing we know also, we can simplify fraction. We can divide the top and bottom by any number that goes into both of them. Alright, in this case, I can divide both of them by 2 to the power of 5. Alright, I'm dividing the top and the bottom by 2 to the power of 5. So 2 to the power of 5 divided by 2 to the power of 5, when you're dividing any number by itself, you get just 1. Then 2 to the 8 divided by 2 to the 5, again I'm dividing the two ones, so I got to take away the powers. This time it's going to be 2 to the power of 8 take away 5. 8 take away 5. That gives me 1 over 2 to the power of 8 minus 5 is 3. Okay, so we showed that 2 to the 5 divided by 2 to the 8 is the same as 2 to minus 3, and 2 to the 5 divided by 2 to the 8 is also 1 over 2 to the power of 3. So these two are the same thing. In other words, I can claim that 2 to the minus 3 is the same as 1 over 2 to the 3. Okay, that is an interesting extension of powers to negative cases. So now I can claim, for example, 5 to the power of minus 2 is 1 over 5 to the 2. So all we are doing, we're writing it as a fraction, where the top is always 1 and the bottom is the same expression or the same power, but rather than being negative is positive. So 6 to the power of minus 5 will be the same as 1, which is always the numerator, and the denominator is 6, but with a positive power. That's how we can define any negative power. More generally, if you want to write it more generally, it is, say, m to the power of minus n is the same as 1 over m to the power of n. That is a more general. Alright, with this in mind, we can now calculate any calculations involving that. So, say for example, they are asking us evaluate 2 times 3 to the power of minus 2. What we do, we know that 2 is that, but 3 to the power of minus 2 can be written as a fraction where the top is 1 and the bottom is 3 to the 2. And we know that 3 to the power of 2 means 3 times 3, which is 9. So it becomes 2 times 1 over 9. And then you know that 2 is the same as 2 over 1. Any whole number can be written over 1 times 1 of 9. It times in fractions, times the tops to get the top, and times the bottom to get the bottom. And that is your answer. So 2 times 3 to the minus 2 ends up to become 2 over 9. Or they might ask us to write 2 times 10 to the minus 4 as a fraction and as a decimal. Okay, what we do here, we say 2 times 10 to the minus 4 can be written as 2 times 1 over 10 to the 4. And now what's 10 to the 4? 10 to the 4 is 10 times by itself 4 times, which is 10,000. So that becomes 10,000, so you get 2 times 1 over 10 to the 4, which is 10,000. So that becomes 2 over 10,000. Okay, that's as a fraction, but remember we can always, whenever possible, simplify your fractions. Here I'm dividing the top and bottom by 2 because both of them are a multiple of 2. So 2 divided by 2 is 1, 10,000 divided by 2 is 5,000. Alright, that is the answer in the form of a fraction. In the form of decimal, I had here 2 over 10,000. So 2 over 10,000. You know that to get to that, you have 2 and you have a decimal point here. If I look at just the numerator, that's 2. I can put a decimal point here. And for any 0 at the denominator, which is sitting next to 1, I got to move the decimal point to the left. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. I need to move that 4 places to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that decimal point is going to end up here. All right, so that's gone there. Now, for all empty places, I got to fill them with 0. So 1, 0, 2, 0, 2, 3, 0. So that's my answer. That is 2 10,000. Okay, so 2 10,000. That is how we work with negative indices. Thank you for watching.